15.
Too late.
I think it's fine. We're keeping their sizes. Remember that they're short people. We're going to acknowledge that they are. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A.
Coming up today on the chat, she sued her parents for college tuition and won.
Caitlin's a spoiled brat.
What the judge and the girl's father are saying now. You may not have heard his name yet, but you will. Up-and-coming country star Kale Don joins the ladies' line. Plus, tech expert Brandy is here with some of the coolest tech gifts of the year. And what one homeowner did to get even
15.
with his package-stealing Grinch. The chat starts now.
10. I didn't know our open was 10 seconds long. 5.
Hello
Mikey,
everyone,
Casey.
and welcome to the chat. I'm Casey DeSantis. Charlene
2-7.
Lianza and Tony are on the panel today. I love the little banglies.
I got banglies and I got the jingly ring.
And you got to do just a whole bunch of noise over there.
Jingle bell rockin'.
That's right. I love it. 'Tis the season for that kind of stuff. All right, so many are calling her an ungrateful, spoiled little brat. And others say, well, maybe she has a point. The debate and controversy centers around this 21-year-old girl who sued her parents for not paying her college tuition and who won that lawsuit. Caitlin Ritchie not only sued her parents twice for tuition money, she also sued them for contempt of court when they refused to pay her. Just this week, the judge upheld his previous ruling saying her parents must pay her college tuition. Here's Caitlin's mother on all of this.
It's just unbelievable. I don't think there's any
Coming back to camera 3.
adult or parent that I've spoken to
5.
or told this to who can imagine that this can happen to them.
Mike Q.
So there's a lot more to this story. A lot.
2.
To the story. But first, what do you think about this? A child suing her parents and a judge
3.
saying, yeah.
Well, you know,
2.
a lot of people would be like, this is ridiculous. She's over 18 because she's 21. How could this happen? But it's interesting
3.
because in the state of New Jersey, they have the most liberal laws when it comes to parents paying for
2.
college
Case law
tuition.
for this. There's precedent for the judge.
Right, there is.
This.
And there are 2 aspects
3.
to it. She's over 18, where again, a lot of people here would go, she's over 18, she's on her own. No, not the case in New Jersey.
You can put the
Just
Twitter
because
thing
you're
up
18,
if you
it doesn't
want.
automatically mean that you are on your own. If you cannot support yourself financially, if you're still under the
3.
support of your parents, then they can be held liable for, you know, whatever it is, whatever kind of money it takes,
$15,000
whatever.
towards Temple.
Yeah, and the other part is the
3.
fact that they are divorced. And in New Jersey, again, a very liberal law that says divorced parents can be held liable to pay for the education of their child.
The second Twitter is about the package
an
stuff.
education a necessity, and that is not just through high school, that is through
I'll wait until we
college.
get to the story.
But it's usually parents who are divorced who is like, mom wants to pay for college, and dad has to contribute, and he won't. They're going after each other.
Nobody else
But
is
if
going to
they were
work.
married, see that.
Yeah.
If they were married, this would
3.
not apply to them.
That's the
They
crazy
would
You haven't even
not
seen
be
the other
held
side of the
legally
table yet, have
liable
you?
if they were
2.
married.
No.
Which I do not understand, and I
1.
don't understand that law and the fact that the judge is upholding. And there's
2.
so many parts to this. The fact that she did
1. So much easier to see June when there's less.
She was kicked out of an
Sorry,
internship
we'll see.
that
I'll
her
time this
parents paid
57:05.
for because she was drinking underage.
3.
And they said, okay, listen, we paid for that. You're under our roof. This is when she was living with the parents.
2.
And they said, there's some things you need to do to change your life around. And she said, that's
3.
it, I'm leaving. And she went left and moved in with grandparents.
Because it wasn't that they said they wouldn't pay for it. They said, we want you to
4.
go in-state. We want to go to start a
Well, then
community
you
college.
fast forward
This is the
You've
first
got
time I see
rules that
Gita
you gotta
Mall in one
follow.
story.
And she was like, no, went in with her grandparents, and then her grandparents are funding this lawsuit.
The grandparents
2.
are funding the lawsuit
3.
against their own son.
Who they haven't seen in a long time.
2.
So there's a little bit of family dynamic that's gone
Yeah.
wrong
And if you
here.
read the article
1.
that we all read, it's a very sad. It's the father talking about it for the first
2.
time. 'Cause this has been going on since I think August
The
of
judge
2013.
upheld the ruling
3.
this week,
Right.
and now he's coming
Oh,
out.
we still have 2 more sound bites, right?
1.
Thing to
Yep.
read. This father saying, I haven't seen my daughter. I don't understand.
Next
this. This is
soundbite.
not who we raised.
3.
I
I just
don't
told her.
understand my parents doing this.
Well, let's listen a little bit because we have more sound from both the mother and the father. Let's take a listen.
A.
She hasn't contacted either of us on Mother's Day or Father's Day or on our birthdays.
I think she just wants money. She wants us to pay
5.
for education. She feels
Do you want me to
that
go
this
straight
is
into the
owed
next
to her.
one?
No.
They
Mike,
said
you?
they would
Okay.
pay the $16,000 to go to Temple University if she
Right.
reconnects with them.
Right.
2.
And the interesting thing about this, again, going back to the legal part of it, okay, when New Jersey courts are considering whether parents
3.
should pay
I'm
for
gonna
this,
kill the
they're
last
supposed to
side.
consider
Okay.
things
I
like,
think, yeah.
does the child have a relationship?
I
Can
wouldn't
the
kill
parents
it, 'cause
afford
she's
this,
gonna
et
talk
cetera,
to
et
it.
cetera? And it sounds
she
like the
is.
judge
Oh,
didn't
I bet she
matter.
will.
I mean, I'll
It
tell
didn't
her
matter
I'm
that
gonna
she
kill it.
Okay,
never
okay.
talks to them, that she was
'Cause we have other stories I'm sure
she
you know,
wants to
that,
get to.
that
3.
they have other children, that it's
Just
very
she's done that
expensive
to us
school.
before.
Last
It's not
thought's
that she does
dead.
not
2.
consider any of this.
And so Caitlin's attorney, of
Oh.
course, is standing by the client, and he is
I have it,
saying
it's
that
three.
she is indeed entitled to all of this compensation, and that she's a really good kid, and all of this is just her
She's
parents'
look.
fault.
B.
They question her morality. They accuse
If I told
her
her I
of
killed it, I'm
false
happy I didn't actually load it.
The law in New Jersey is so clear. It's cut and dry.
5.
The law says
We're on
parents
this
are
way too
supposed to
long.
contribute to their children's post-secondary educational expenses.
What's up?
So now they're going to a crowdfunding source. They're
You
going
wanna do another
online to get
Twitter
donations
for
to
this?
help
Okay,
fund
is
this.
that
if
it?
they decide to pay the
Henny?
$15,000, which they haven't decided if they're going to
Okay.
do yet because they just want to talk with their daughter.
2.
Isn't it horrible?
Who?
that
1.
they
Is it Henny
question
It's Henny.
their daughter's morals? She's 21.
Henny's not on the
Yeah.
show
What?
and tweeting the show.
Who does that?
Bonnie's saying
She
to
does
wrap
feel
on
like it's
something,
owed to
we're
her.
gonna wrap on.
She's owed nothing.
1.
Next.
You know,
In my opinion.
imagine
Okay.
Christmas at this house.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's going to be much of one, at least with
2.
her involved in it. So let's go to our poll. So if we really want to know what you
Computer.
think about all this, go to ladiesofthechat.com, weigh in, and we're going to reveal the results on this topic coming up a little bit later. And speaking about getting fired
She's
up
a
around
vacuum.
here, if you've ever watched New England Patriot game, then you might have noticed that
Rolling
Tom Brady
scene.
gets a little animated, and he has a tendency to drop a few F-bombs. This basically became true after, I don't know if you watched the San Diego Chargers game on Sunday night, and Brady went over to the sideline.
Like
and he dropped
every
more
quarterback,
F-bombs than Eminem did
except for
during
Drew
the rap
Brees.
song. And so that was all captured on camera, and people were talking about it left and right afterwards. So when Brady was asked about all of this, he said, in part, blame CBS and NBC for putting it on TV. Don't blame me.
Well, you know, I
2.
gotta agree with him. I've heard both sides
Oh,
of this
that
argument. One
bracelet.
side is,
Yeah, that bracelet's
hey,
driving me crazy.
You're in a
It's
football
3.
game, that you
It's
could always be on camera, and that could always happen. Well, yeah, of course. But you know what? You're out there
2.
in a football game, and if you're on the sidelines, and part of
5.
it is that you're
1.
going to get your teammates fired up, and he's the leader of that team. And the way you get him fired up is to use that
2.
questionable language. It is sports. We've got the
3.
testosterone.
Well, that's what he said. He says, we're not choir
Right, come on
boys.
now.
We're
Right.
on a field to win
And
a
the
game.
networks know this.
The
They
seating
know
arrangements
this
are not
isn't
working.
something
Yeah, this
isn't
new.
good.
Tommy
Nope,
Lasorda-
it's just reversing
Tommy
the
Lasorda
side,
used to
and
think
Casey
no
gets a
all the time.
disinterest.
Yeah.
He
1.
did.
I know, I
Always
know.
get zeroed in on him.
Of course.
I remember
There's
watching
a
Coach
purpose.
Coughlin.
4.
Coach Tom Coughlin, that was one
Next.
of my favorite parts of watching him was trying to read his list.
See?
Well,
And he's
3.
sitting there trying to fire up his team. So I just think this is just part of the
4.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
I think
on
if they
that
know
one.
2.
he's got a potty mouth, they should stay
They just
away.
kind of,
Right.
yeah, don't say that.
He's got a point.
Or pulls out the lips, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Little
blurred thing.
All right, as we get
3.
closer to the holidays, more and more residents in various spots across the country are finding themselves victims of front door package thefts. For instance,
Roll
in
name.
Charleston, West Virginia, this woman was caught red-handed on surveillance
Wiped
video swiping
Phoenix.
packages
We
right
haven't shown
off
this tweet
of
yet.
homeowner's front porch, peering in to
no.
see anything, but it was there.
4.
And then all of a sudden, when she
Weapon
realized no
beam.
one was there, she picks up one of the packages and walks off. Then there's this other package thief in San Diego, California, who was using that U-Haul there as part of a ruse to make people think that she was just moving boxes, but she was really stealing packages.
Wow.
She and the other lady were caught. So how low do you have to be to steal packages off of people's front doorsteps this time of year? And you know, we're seeing more and more of this.
2.
Is it happening more, or are more homeowners getting cameras
3.
and recording this stuff on their front doorstep?
I think it's probably
1.
a little bit of both. It would be so nice if all these clever little thieves could use their cleverness.
Do y'all want me to use this one?
Yeah.
1.
Holidays.
You know,
like
I went on
getting a job.
I went on a
exactly.
run yesterday.
2.
It was probably around 4:30, and I was
4.
actually started thinking as I was jogging around. I was like,
1.
oh, look at all these things, all these boxes on almost every
2.
doorstep I went by.
3.
And I actually thought about like
4.
how safe
It's
is
out.
that? And I have a PO box.
1.
And one of the UPS stores, and all my stuff goes there. And if
Is
I
it
need to
big?
sign
Like, what if
something,
you have big
3.
packages?
they
Is it
take
big
it back there, and I get what I do is I get a
4.
little slip in my mailbox that
Oh,
says I
okay.
have a package.
Okay.
And in fact, they email
1.
me and let me know I've got a package. So I go and I pick it up, and they
2.
just carry it to my car.
I thought she worked
I'll
at
tell you,
home.
it's worth the investment
4.
for a year to be
But
able to
it's
know
sad.
it's all
But she's
there.
gone
It's
a
sad
lot.
that you have
2.
to do that. Well,
Next.
it's sad that we can't
3.
be on the honor system and you can't leave it at my doorstep.
You can't. Well, you can always do what this lady did in Washington, D.C. I don't know if you saw this. So she decided, because this perpetual theft keep coming to steal her stuff, so what she did
We're
was,
gonna end
when
up
this
having to
guy
kill
came
Dad
up,
mad
she
over
put a
the
box
lights
on her
'cause
front
we haven't
doorstep,
got to
put a
customer
camera there,
shocks
but
waitress
inside
in
that
the
box,
car.
there's a bunch of dog poo. So when he got back, he fell open it up, and There you go.
Merry Christmas. That's funny. I would have shocked him because I have a. We have a
I'm gonna go ahead and kill this now.
But the wreath, when you open the door, its eyes open in its mouth, and it says really bad things. That's like Tom Brady style. Tom Brady style. That's gonna be my Tom Brady wreath. It would scare the out of these guys.
They would take off running. Well, speaking of the holidays, but on a happy
Another
note,
tweet
this
about
is a great
tuition.
story. There's a waitress at a Cracker Barrel in Missouri who got a shock of a lifetime, and she had been driving a 2002 Hyundai Accent. It really had seen better days in this car, to say the least.
Like a rubber band around the hood?
Is that a bungee cord?
You can put the tweet up whenever you have time.
Wrap around the windows. Well,
y'all don't want me to cover video or anything with
No,
it.
you're
Stand
fine.
by that. Pop it at A.
Do something about it.
A.
Well, we've been watching you drive that car.
Tease is next. Tease is after this
And we
story.
Alright, you can turn on our mic.
Mics. Open up their mics. Their mics are open.
The waitress a new car. Well, it's slightly used, but it's new. It was a great car.
New to her.
New to her, yeah. And he said Merry Christmas and handed her the keys. Does that just not prove that the holiday spirit is alive?
I'm crying.
I know.
I'm crying. Sweet. It's the sweetest thing. That guy. Oh, really gonna close up for me? I'm really crying. I'm really crying.
You really get close to those tears.
One.
Yeah, we're not gonna let that out.
Nobody believes you.
It's a very sweet story, and that car had been hit by deer. I mean, literally, she'd had it forever. I mean, it really had, and accidents and that kind of thing. And this couple just, and that's a nice story to negate the thieves at Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. It's like very balanced.
3.
It is, and she
30.
had a disabled son that she was
Yes.
supporting, and
2.
so and the car was very unreliable, and because of something wasn't working right, she had to get new tires all the time.
You never have buyer's remorse
4.
when you give to other people. You never do.
Oh, what a beautiful.
Wrap.
You never do.
3.
Oh, not beautiful statement. Now she's gonna cry. Everybody's crying, but I gotta move on because we gotta go to the next segment. So still to come here on the chat. Do
3.
boys gossip more than girls? There is
pull
a
out on
new
2.
study that we are going to debate coming up after this commercial break, and we will be right back on the chat.
2. C.
Yeah.
Take it.
I don't like her bracelets.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My cue.
Well, the myth of the mean girl has finally been debunked with new research indicating that it's boys who are more likely to spread malicious rumors and be manipulative or reject or exclude others at school than girls. According to researchers from the University of Georgia, a large majority, both boys and girls,
Cool if I go ahead and put the Twitter thing in?
Every grade from 6th
Is it about
to
this?
12th,
No, it's about that dude coming up later.
Sure.
rather than the females. Do you believe this to
Why
be
did that say on cam? I didn't have any video.
You're
right?
raising boys. No. I don't. I mean, I'm raising boys, so I don't have the other perspective of.
But you have the
One.
boys' perspective.
And
Is
their
that
friends,
freaking
and I
right?
find them to be extremely loyal. And I hear stories from
3.
other parents that are raising young girls the same age, and I'm telling you, it's
1.
ugly. It is a mean girl situation in a lot of cases. But my boys are so loyal to
2.
their friends, and
I think it used to be that school of thought that boys
4.
have a problem. They go out in the backyard, they
Twitter's
stuff it
out.
out, and then it's over. They're friends. But girls,
1.
because they're not physical, especially in those formative years, that's how they hurt each other.
2.
Is through the words and through that kind
And
of
rejection.
social
saying that it
aggression.
was guys who were picking on
3.
girls a lot of times and saying things
Well,
and
that
teasing
happened.
them.
That's
when I was
flirting.
in school, I
2.
got picked on by the boys,
Yeah, I sure did too.
all the time. And they're talking about socially
1.
aggressive behavior. And I think that kind of goes along with what you're saying, Charlene. I think
2.
the boys are maybe socially aggressive.
3.
where the
One of us
girls
should
are
tweet
more
about
gonna
the
do it
Tony's ring
behind
making a
the
ton of noise.
back of someone
I mean, seriously.
and manipulatively and mean. Like, we just
3.
want to invite her to the party.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
And that is so hurtful at that age, at that
1.
tender age. It's just ugly.
Well, and 620
2.
students were analyzed in this study in
3.
northeastern Georgia, 6th to 12th grade.
We gotta move on.
96% of the people who they surveyed in this,
2.
almost all of them had reported that they had been abused or
1.
teased,
Bullied,
or
rejected.
picked on, or bullied or rejected. So 96% were victims. 90% reported being a victim in this study.
2.
So think about that. It goes on a lot on both
Next.
sides.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of back and forth.
And now with social media and the
It's
kids
even
being
worse.
on that,
1.
that's just, nasty.
2.
Okay, all right. So
Charlene
if
gives
you
me
can
like
decide which
no
topics,
facial
by the way,
expressions for having
get on
camera
your
4
pizza
on her.
tonight, don't worry, because Pizza
3.
Hut says that they want to make it easy for you. The pizza chain has created. and
She's in a
partnered
very
with
pissed off mood.
eye tracking for.
Well, I mean, she never
Yeah, I know, I
does.
know.
Develop what it calls the world's first subconscious menu.
Rolling beam.
It is designed to recognize what you want before you even know what you want yourself.
I mean, that's why I liked having camera 4 on Tony, because she was always crazy facial expressions.
That's what you want.
Henny.
So an order will pop up and say,
You can get shrimp from Pizza Hut? I don't know if I would trust
Shrimp,
that.
right.
That's what you really want without even having to place an order.
They're
Well,
okay.
you just try to figure out what those
Two.
little cartoon things mean.
I noticed that too. Oh, does that corn?
It looks like a
Why would
shrimp.
they put corn on a pizza?
And shrimp too. Who does that?
Oh, I wouldn't mind a little shrimp and pineapple on there. That sounds like it could be.
3.
I mean, shrimp, but not for...
Okay, so I already know that my subconscious
4.
wants the worst thing for me possible.
2.
So then my willpower comes in, and I have this argument.
1.
I don't now need Pizza Hut I'm all about the technology. You know, I
4.
love technology, but I don't need Pizza Hut going. Come on, get it. You know, you really do. You really, really want it. Just
You really
press
want the
button.
shrimp.
Oh, can I take this Twitter?
It's going to linger on the pepperoni, but meanwhile you're putting the pepperoni in your mind. Your willpower, like you said, is going, no, don't get it, don't get it,
And it's weird because it's one more version of Big
Y'all
Brother.
need to
We
draw
can talk
attention
about
to
on the
that.
show a lot. how
Because
we're just being
Casey's
bombarded
got
with
the
Two.
bracelets
technology
beside of
and
her.
technology. And I would just like to say that every time we
1.
talk about food on the
Casey's
show,
got the
which is
bracelets
like
beside her
every
in her
day,
chair.
But that's
No.
something
2.
you cook stuff and bring it in, so we're going to talk about
4.
But what I really thought was cute too in the promo that they have for it, so they have this couple trying to figure out what pizza. In the end, they get pepperoni. I'm
Next.
Like, how hard is that to pick?
1.
And that's really like as far as my kids, that's what they
You have
prefer,
one?
either cheese pizza
2.
or pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
They don't cook the fancy stuff.
This is a little creepy.
Because I can never read them
It's
from
a
that
little
far.
creepy. You just wonder,
Yeah,
I
it's...
love it.
where is this going to go from
You know what?
We're talking
I
about
love
pizza. We're talking about eyes tracking on certain things and computer screens, but where's it going to go? All right, so if you're looking to lose weight,
3.
speaking about pizza, how much you eat, put on your
All right.
pizza.
No,
Well,
it's
if
cool.
you would like to lose weight, there's a study
There you
that
go,
says that
Chanel.
if you eat everything
Where's it
within
now?
an
Am I
8-hour
crazy?
window
Oh,
each day,
awesome.
that will help you
Actually, I need to take
shed
it out.
the weight. And researchers believe that sticking to that strict meal
This...
allows the
Because you're
body
asking me, I'm like, I can't read that.
to burn
I had LASIK and I can't read that.
Like, it's because I'm putting it in that look ahead, but if it wasn't for that, too, I wouldn't... And half of them, when they get the real small...
And so I try
3.
to eat 4:30ish. I would be done eating by 12:30, and I would start
1.
to die. So I'm actually losing weight. Then it works
1.
for me. That works
Because you're starving to death.
Starving
There you
myself,
go.
but then I'm dead.
2.
So we have a problem.
So that's just not
3.
going to work
It's
for
not
you.
gonna work for me. Next.
No, I'm on a pretty regular eating
2.
schedule as much as I can. And I will tell you, your body does adapt to it.
Yeah.
Because like
1.
I've been in the habit of getting up earlier
4.
now. I am starving by 7:30. I'm hungry by 10. I'm hungry by noon. I'm hungry
Is that
by
a new
4,
one?
I'm hungry by 6. But then the struggle
app
with that
one?
8 hour, to your point, is like
2.
if I'm up doing working late by 10:30, I'm like, a little snacky snack would be good.
1.
I think that's where
Yeah, we just don't
30.
need to bother with lower thirds anymore and just keep this going on.
A full-on meal at 10 o'clock.
1.
and whatever.
We need to get this.
She's not doing
So
the
the
apps
worst
today,
thing you can
though.
do is eat at night.
2.
But they also say if you go long periods without eating, your metabolism
3.
slows down. So if you're someone like me and I can't get that 8 hour, I can't eat all in 8 hours.
2.
That's ridiculous.
Let me tell you what.
Wrap.
Weekends and Chardonnay.
4.
Let's wrap after that.
Weekends and Chardonnay.
That's the midnight snack.
That's the thing that'll kill you every time.
It's the
Still
Chardonnay
to
diet.
come right here on the chat. Sharon Lipinski is going to
Worst
join us to talk
Sneaking
about
your music.
gift giving this holiday
Camera
season.
7.
How, if we know we're going to be making a donation, it's going to a good and worthy cause. We'll talk about that coming up next, and we will be right back.
All right.
Take it.
Behind Yeah. her.
Yeah,
do
that
you
looks
want
good.
more, like over here.
No, I liked what you
Platinum.
had better.
Alright.
5, 4,
Stand by.
3,
Bonnie's up on set.
2. It's fine. 1. Oh, did I pop that up early? And Mikey Casey.
Welcome back to the chat. 'Tis the
Where's
season
my
of
bug?
giving. In fact, experts estimate that during this month or so between Thanksgiving and New Year's, Americans will donate over $100 billion to charitable organizations. If you'd like to join in on that, but you aren't sure where to start, here to help us navigate some of the most common holiday
4.
giving situations is donation defender of
Is
generosity.
she okay?
Expert Sharon Lipinski. Thank you for being
1.
here. We really appreciate you.
Camera's
let's talk
probably a
about
little
trying
bit
to
far away,
incorporate
waiting
kids
for her
into
to
the
read. I'm
giving,
gonna.
of the holiday season. If you want to show kids how important it is
Oh,
to
that's
give to
nice.
charity, how can you do
How
that other than
incorporates
whipping out your
the,
checkbook
two.
and showing them,
monitor.
hey, I'm donating to this organization?
Yeah, so I recommend 3
1.
things. First is to have a family donation
4.
plan. So come together as a family and talk about why giving to charity is important. set a budget for how much it is you're going to give away, and then decide as a family how we're going to do it. Are we going to
It's an X3.
Hat? Are we going to vote majority
X3.
rules?
Is that what that is?
Isn't a right and wrong way, just kind of whatever works with your family.
Am I crazy?
Charity tool is what?
4.
Because you are going to get bombarded with requests. You're going to get mail. They're in front of stores. They're neighbors, churches.
Okay.
So don't overwhelm them. Come and talk with them about 2 or 3 different charities or issues. And then secondly, or the final thing, is to adapt to them. Now, for young kids, money is an abstract concept, so better than giving money would be to collect books or visit a senior center
I'm
with
just
cookies, something
one.
like that.
I'm gonna.
And then as kids age, they're just going to naturally gravitate towards other certain ways of giving. Some are going to want to be, let me build a website. Let me go work with seniors. So just make sure that you give your kids opportunities to give in the ways that they enjoy giving.
What about food banks and bringing goods? It's important to incorporate the kids in that too as well.
Yeah, so your food bank, now let's say you've got $10 that you want to give to your food bank. So I went to the grocery store and I picked up these items and I spent $9.86. Okay. Now, if I just went to your local food bank's website, went to their online donation page and donated $10, they could turn that into 40 pounds of food. Yeah, so barely lunch for a week, or a family of 4 fed for an entire week. So do give to your food bank. It's a hugely important part of your community, but give them money because that's what they need.
Oh, wow. I just wonder how they're able to multiply it in such, I mean, I guess they obviously can go a little bit behind the scenes and not pay the retail prices that we're paying for. Okay, so what happens when Christmas is over? I mean, it's important to incorporate and tell the kids, hey, listen, you should still be considering giving back.
Yeah, well, I think Christmas is actually a terrible time of year to donate because there are so many demands on our time and our money right now. And January 1st, the homeless are still homeless. So after Christmas, set a family budget plan. This is how much we're going to give. These are the types of charities that we're going to consider, and this is how we're going to choose them. And if you give them that example all year long, well, they're going to have a greater likelihood of growing into generous adults.
And one of the things you've talked about on the show before is making sure that you're researching these charities. What do we need to be on the lookout for to make sure that our money is going to a good and worthy cause?
So there are 3 things that I really look at. What is the reputation of the charity? What is their financial situation like? And what kind of impact are they making on the cause that they're trying to fix? And so your viewers can go to my website, livinggenerously.everyday.com.
There you go.
And
it worked.
I have a 4-level charity evaluation system. They could use it to look at a local, local charity or a large multinational company. But that guide will walk you through how to quickly and confidently choose a charity that's doing the right thing.
And you want to make sure, and you're saying looking at their financials, you want to make sure that if your donation isn't going necessarily to the management, that it's actually going to the cause that you think that you're supporting.
Right, so you want to know, where that donation is going, and part of it is understanding that you do want to choose a charity that's investing wisely in their staff. It's not necessarily always a great idea to choose the charity with the lowest overhead.
Thank you so much for being
All right, I guess 1 means wrap.
Your advice this holiday season. It's always good to give to make sure that your gifts are going to a good place. So we appreciate that. For more charitable giving ideas, you can visit Sharon's blog at Living Generously every day. Still to come right here on the chat. He is being called an up-and-coming country star sensation. Cale Dodds is going to join the ladies coming up after this break.
7's up.
We're fine. We'll be fine. I'm not worried about it anymore.
Take it.
We'll be good. Because I have him in for 6.5 right now, and if it goes longer, that's fine.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
4, Justin.
1. Watch 4.
Well, you want to make a note of our next guest. Boy, he is an up-and-coming country artist sensation,
born
and raised in our own backyard, right in Columbus, Georgia. He recently released his debut EP, and it is called Wild and Reckless. He is performing tonight at a free concert at Mavericks in Jacksonville at the Landing. So please welcome singer-songwriter Cale Dodds to the show. Cale, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're super excited, and there's a lot of talk behind the scenes here of some ladies that wanted to come out and meet you and get your autograph.
Jamie, it's you.
The audience might not know who you are now, but eventually we might now, say we knew you when. So let's quickly take a listen to some of your music, and then we're going to pepper you with all kinds of questions. You ready for that?
Sounds good.
All right, let's take a listen.
We're gonna party like the world is gonna end. Get a little bit closer like you're everybody's best friend.
10.
We'll be loving like we're never gonna love again.
dominates it.
Yeah.
My cues.
So, okay, so Kale, you're a Georgia boy.
I am.
There has to be like a body of water
Jingle.
that you're all drinking from.
3.
Because, I mean, it's ridiculous how many people right now from Georgia.
2.
Billy
Yeah.
Currington, Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan,
3.
Kip Moore, isn't Thomas Rhett
Yes.
from Georgia?
Sam Hunt.
I mean,
2.
it's ridiculous. Where's the fountain
1.
of country music, hot country
2.
music guys that you're drinking from?
It's
Where
all it's all
1.
the Chattahoochee River.
Is that what it
flows down.
is? It's the
You know,
Chattahoochee
we get the
River.
cup and we
2.
drink from it.
You want to get them 1
Seriously,
because
what
it's
is
such a
about Georgia?
profile on
That
4.
question gets asked a lot,
Yeah.
but I think there's just something honest about growing up in a southern
5.
town, and the stories are real, and the music kind of it's expressed in the music, and it just comes across. And I think there's something that you can't take away from the honesty of the song and that, you know.
And this is something that you've been wanting to do ever since
2.
you were little, or is this as of a recent thing?
Yeah, no, I've been
It'll take 3.
performing and writing
Yep.
songs since I was
Okay,
13,
1.
so
Okay. And how old are you now?
26.
Okay, all right. I was going to say 13. How long ago?
It's like young.
Which is a blessing.
Recently relocated to Nashville.
I've been there 4 years.
Oh,
4.
years. Okay, I thought it was more recent than that. How is it?
I love it.
That is
1.
obviously a musical town, but
Yeah.
is it a tight-knit community that you've had to kind of weave your way into?
You know what's great about that town is
4.
everybody there is moving there for the same reasons you are. So it's a humbling experience, but it's also very encouraging at the same time.
It's very competitive.
It is.
That's what I was gonna
Absolutely.
say.
2.
A lot of out of work, not even out of work singers who are working as bartenders
Right.
and waiters.
Everybody's a songwriter.
Yeah.
Everybody
1.
plays guitar. Everyone knows someone. Yeah.
I know. I watched the show. By the way, it was the season finale last night, so I'll be looking for you on the show.
Hopefully
by the
next
way.
season.
So you have an EP out.
I do.
That is not
3.
a full-length album.
Right.
So explain what that is and what the difference is.
I just wanted to showcase
We have a
myself
full
in 5
screen of
songs
that.
for
1.
those people that have never heard of me before. And the hardest part about making the record was choosing the 5 songs because I write every day, even on the road, writing all the time. So the hardest part to me was writing or choosing those 5 songs.
1.
And,
What's that?
working on the full length now and hopefully have something out in early next year.
And the EP is available on
2.
iTunes.
It is. It's on iTunes right now. It's also
3.
on Spotify if you want to check it out. I'm selling the physical
Hey, Casey,
copies
look
of the
up.
show. So yeah.
Now you've had,
2.
you really have such an opportunity because you are opening with some really big acts that you're getting such great influence. I think
1.
Tony, you were mentioning Billy Currington, Brett Eldridge, Kelly Pickler. I mean, what is
Yeah.
that like to be around them and getting their influence?
It's great because the people
4.
I've been on the road with, specifically this past 2 years, I've been fans of prior to going on the road with them. So it's
3.
been great, you know, watching their show.
Charlie,
every night,
if she'd
coming
sit back,
to
it'd be
visit
okay.
them,
3.
Just being, you know, taken under somebody's wing
1.
that you're a fan of is, you know, it's such a benefit.
How do you be
4.
cool around them? How do you be like, yeah,
1.
hey,
Everybody-
Kelly, how's it going?
Everybody's a person, you
2.
know, everyone's
They're so
super
easygoing.
cool.
That's the
They
thing.
really
Country
are,
artists
yeah.
are so easygoing. You
Right.
never, you know.
That's why country music has the best fan base because
Yeah.
everybody's a person. you
2.
know?
Absolutely.
And Brett Eldridge just won the CMA
Yeah.
New Artist of the
3.
Year. So were you on the road with them?
Oh, I need to
Sure.
move it
It
down.
was so tell
Yeah,
me,
it's
what's that
great.
like?
It's exciting because I've known Brett for
Hey,
a couple
Justin,
years.
watch out
and
for
it's
him.
awesome
He's taking
to
a
see
picture
him
or wants
kinda
to.
grow and,
Watch
you know,
out, the
kinda
guy
make
was
his whole
behind you.
thing come to fruition, you know,
There's
so,
3 other
I
monitors.
think it's well deserving, pumped for him, and hope to be out on the road with him some more.
Did you like touch him like?
3.
I moved Twitter down.
I'm touching him. I hope my boyfriend's not watching. But did you really like?
So smooth.
Brett, you gotta have some
Love
good
the
stuff
show.
on me.
No, I tell you,
2.
Brett's great. He's one of the most talented guys, and he's been very welcoming to
1.
me and my guys out on the road. So,
And
very
you're
excited.
relatively new to
3.
the business. So when you're getting up in front of a stage, are there any nerves, or is it you're just fueled with passion? I mean, what is it like when you stand up in front of a crowd? For those
Yeah.
who will never have the opportunity to do that.
It's not so much
2.
nervous as in scared. It's anxious and
It's out.
excited. That's the moment I live for. Like you're in the van.
I'm sorry, I
you're in the
can't
bus,
hear.
you know,
I'm happy you
however
said
long,
something I couldn't
and
hear
then
at
you get-
all.
You get to the venue, you sound check,
2.
you go do stuff. But the moment that you live for is when you're on stage.
4.
And that's what makes
You know this is what you're going to be doing.
3.
So what is your show like? You're playing at Mavericks
Yeah,
tonight,
it's
right?
lots of
yeah.
energy. It's crowd
1.
involved. It's just there's sweat, there's dancing. I mean, it happens. I mean, it's fun. It is.
Who gets the towel at the end
3.
of your?
Well, I watch it throw. I watch it
2.
throw. Yeah. So.
So talk
Hey,
about
Chanel.
2015, what that
Yeah.
looks like for you. And I heard you have
Bonnie's
some
trying
pretty big
to
plans for
I
next
do.
year.
see
I'm
if you
excited.
could tell
I've
Casey
been
in
on
her
a lot
ear
of
if she could
this
ask
year with my
about
buddy
the
Sam Hunt,
guys
who's,
gossip more than
blowing up right
girls.
now. I'm very
4.
excited.
Okay.
We're playing with him Saturday in Mobile, Alabama.
1.
And we're playing with him. It's the last
Bonnie
show of
wants
the
you to
year.
ask
I
about
just
guys
put on the
gossiping
first
more than
show of the
girls.
year for New Year's Eve.
Guys gossiping
in
more than
Springfield,
girls.
Illinois,
1.
At a good venue called Boondocks. We've been twice this year. And that's going to be a huge show. It's been
4.
sold out for a while. And
Nice.
Sam's great. His whole crew is great to us. So it's going to be a big show. We're excited about it.
Fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So Bonnie's sitting over there, and she
3.
had a question in, and she radioed up to the producer, who just radioed down to me to incorporate you into a conversation that we had in the last block.
All right, 2.
All right, telling our secrets.
You know, I was sitting over there in the chair, and I was listening to that conversation. And
1.
I think 100% women gossip more than men.
More than men.
3.
I do. However, I do feel like
2.
men have way more of an interest in the gossip
1.
than is given off.
Very
2.
good.
And just to be fair,
3.
Appreciate that honesty.
There's a man on our staff that every day he puts on his headphones. He's the only guy that works on the chat, and I wonder, is he
3.
really listening
Sorry,
to something,
Jim.
or is he really listening to what's going on around us?
Lulling us into a false sense of security that he's not listening to us.
He's not listening at all.
Just the next time she says that, just drop the camera. Just make it completely go down to the ground.
I know.
No.
4.
Yeah, no, I'd love to,
Viewer
but
want to ask you a question?
2.
Not exactly.
Just get the camera to ram, Casey.
Rap.
I hit it in the back of the head.
Haley, who is the producer of the show, who's
Or
actually
just like,
Austin's
I don't know,
sister,
just be like,
and who loves
rude.
you to death, and
that's
wanted
nice.
you
I
to
can't hear.
sign something for her, and so you did that, and then
3.
some.
I did.
And that was so nice. Do you want to say what you put on it, or do you want to have her?
4.
This is for
Rap
her,
after
and
this.
You said.
3.
This
4.
is Hannah.
Oh, I was supposed to ask you if you're single. That's
Oh,
right.
first-
And you said
first-
yes.
Yes.
You
The
are
answer
single
is
currently.
yes.
Okay.
Going to camera number 1 over there.
And then you put prom question mark. He
Oh
put
my
that
God.
There. He put that there.
How old is Haley's
We're
sister?
on
She's
the
a
road,
teenager?
I mean,
Oh, she's
yeah.
older.
She looked like a teenager the last time she was here. Like,
I love Jacksonville.
Did you ever go to your
2.
prom, or did you
I
not?
did.
Was that-
I
Oh,
did.
but you
Rap.
went for prom, or?
We need to get out of here.
Prom would be great, and then, it's down
I
here.
want to find a prom and go with him right
I
now.
know, I know.
Where's the prom? Can we go? You better buy some
Yeah,
roses,
exactly.
sir.
Well, I'm going to tell Brett Everett to get you
Wrap it
started
up.
to
I can bring him down too. It'll be fun.
Okay, well, thank
4.
you so much, and thank you for doing
Thank
that.
y'all for having
You're
me.
awesome.
Two.
Hope to see you
Really
guys
nice
soon.
guy.
1.
And best of luck. And yeah, the doors open at 6 p.m. And
2.
so you can find out more on your website, which is kaledodds.com. Is that right? And it's going to be the Mavericks at Jacksonville Landing, 6 p.m. And you can see him free tonight in concert. And we will be right back.
All right, 2. Just take it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Mikey Casey.
Woo! Okie dokie.
2.
We're going to see him again later on. What a
Oh,
nice
wow.
guy, though. What a nice
The
guy.
whole package, whole package.
1.
Talent, good heart,
It's these country
2.
artists. They're awesome.
4.
That's why I'm a country fan. I
2.
know what you got going on. Finally, by the way, we had to take your Bengals away from you.
3.
You were too
And they're
noisy.
considering the ring.
2.
They're considering
My
it. So you can
change.
stop talking with your hands.
Here, I'll put it for
But
this
then
side.
she can't. You
She's
won't be
I
able
know,
to.
I know, I can't
See?
do that. All right, we got to start talking about Sony Pictures because
Oh,
they
yeah.
have been hacked, and it is
that the
a
right
major,
monitor?
major deal.
Where's-
The funny, well, it's kind of funny to me, I think.
4.
Although not real funny to them. I think heads are going to roll in Hollywood, and egos are
3.
just deflating as we speak because these hackers. I think it all
4.
goes
I
back to
just-
the movie that's coming out Christmas Day.
You do?
The
You
Interview.
think that you really do?
Yes, yes. It's a movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco,
1.
and it is about the fact that they get this big
4.
interview with the North
4.
Korean leader,
Dictator, yeah.
and then our government asked them to assassinate him. Now, do you remember months ago?
2.
North Korea said if this movie comes out, it's an act of
3.
war.
Have they taken responsibility for this yet?
Well, there is a group
4.
that kind of
Yeah.
has, it's not the government, but I think it
1.
is. Because they have gone in and they've released emails. Can you
2.
imagine, just imagine, if you're
4.
at work and somebody hacked into your company and released all the emails? that you
Next.
people- There was
3.
one email.
I'm telling
that
Tony
called-
next because we
Yeah,
can't
you don't-
spend
There
all
was
the
one
time on
email that
this.
called Angelina Jolie a
4.
minimally talented, spoiled brat.
That was not supposed to be
And are they
released.
attributing
Next.
to the people who, because some of the things I've
1.
seen, they're actually attributing it to the person who wrote it and the person who it was sent to.
Yeah,
2.
no, it
Attributing
was.
the
With
hacking or with
Emails.
Yeah, the one.
emails.
One.
Oh, yeah,
no, it's
so and so
Tony.
said this about so and so.
Oh yeah, their names.
4.
Their names. Yep, yep. And Seth
3.
Rogen and James Franco cannot
2.
do any red carpet interviews about this today. Not anybody in the cast and crew. And the red carpet is tonight. So quite
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
Speaking of red carpet,
I moved the Twitter
Golden
thing down.
Globes were announced, the
Okay.
nominations, and everybody always wants to know the movies.
4.
So best drama, we've got Boyhood, Foxcatcher, The Imitation Game, Selma, and The Theory of Everything. Best comedy movie.
She's going too fast for
Birdman,
you.
which I want to see.
Are you
That's
trying to
with
catch?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
The
Kinds of
Grand
nominations, that one. Right?
Yeah,
1.
got quite a few. The Grand Budapest Hotel, Into the Woods, Pride. We moved to TV. Best TV comedy or musical, Girls, Jane the Virgin. Orange is the New Black. Silicon Valley, Transparent. Best TV drama, The Affair, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, The Good Wife, and House of Cards. And these are going to be given out.
Oh, she did them out of order.
She did them out of order.
All out of order.
Oh, they're going to be, I know.
They're
Just, who
hilarious.
doesn't love that,
So
right?
fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Speaking of Orange is the New Black, this is great. There is a college in Michigan that is doing a college course on the TV show. Now, this college course is called Writing About Oppression on TV, and the professor is going to use Orange is the New Black as the basis for this college course. And she says that everything that they do in the show, they talk about issues that are related to race,
what is this
gender,
K
class,
crap at the bottom
sexual
of it?
orientation. And
I think it's a teenage thing. I don't
know. 3. Just K.
Well, they're mainstreaming that conversation.
2. I guess so.
It's so you can watch the season and then you can get class credit for it.
3.
One of my very best friends is a producer and a writer on that show, Tara Herman, and I texted her when this story. Do you know about this college? You know, this course. So I'm waiting to hear back.
It's Saginaw Valley State University.
1.
So it's probably not real big, but that's kind of neat, though, you know? That
it's a great college course. Absolutely one of my favorites.
And let's move on to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift just proving once again why she really is a great role model.
We don't need these monitors. I'm for you can't see them in any of the shot but the wide shot, and I'm not supposed to be taking wide shots all the time.
Drinking and this and that. And Taylor said, well, I do drink. I'm 25 years old.
Waste of my
But
time.
this year,
Thank
I remember
you.
seeing a picture she was at a basketball game, like a Knicks
4.
game. She's drinking a beer, and I'm like, Taylor Swift is drinking a beer.
A Tony tweet? We have another tweet.
She said, I waited until I was 21 because I was so paranoid
4.
about getting in trouble. You know, having a 10-year-old seeing what she does and then being influenced
You
by
know what
that.
she said about
2.
more about being the role model, because I actually read the Time article,
3.
the interview that she did
Right.
at the time when she was one of the
30.
potential nominee, where she was a nominee, but she was one of the potential recipients of Time Person of the Year. She said it's not necessarily about thinking a 10-year-old is watching me or
2.
a 12-year-old. It's that I don't want to
Wrap
disappoint
after
my
this.
family. I don't want to do anything that my mom, my dad,
3.
my sister,
Has Charlene
loved
said a
ones are gonna
word?
look back and be disappointed
Nope.
in me.
Yeah, she
and
did.
so she uses that as her guiding
she
light,
said
and
a
in
little something.
essence, she then becomes by default
Not
a role
much.
model
2.
for younger kids.
A positive role model.
Yeah,
for younger
absolutely.
kids.
Rap.
Well, exactly, because you're not going to do something
3.
to disappoint your parents. So
Right.
in essence, that is
Unless you sue them for college tuition.
Unless
2.
you're that other girl we talked about earlier, in which case, throw it right out the window.
3.
And care about her family.
2.
All right, coming up next on the chat, tech expert Brandy is going to join
3.
us to talk about some of the neatest
Pull
tech
out on
gifts
2.
for the holidays. We will be right back.
B. What was Charlene pointing at?
Where's she supposed to go?
Oh.
Right.
Well, that's cute too, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. 8, 7, 6.
Kind of get rid of that bottom.
5.
If you close that, yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. And my cue, Charlene.
Well, whether the techie in your household has been naughty or nice, technology expert Brandy Bleak from Florida State College of Jacksonville is here with a brand new bag of high-tech gifts, sure to help you wrap up your holiday shopping. Brandy, thanks so much
1.
for joining us. So you are such
2.
a techie. I'm a newbie techie, so I'm
3.
always I love to talk to you
Yeah,
because you have
Justin,
such
I
a
can
great
get it
way of
on
breaking things down
6,
and why
if
something's
she doesn't move it
important
too
and
far.
why it's
2.
right. And so first we're going to talk about a stylus.
Yeah, it's
Why
flat.
is that such a big deal to have one?
So instead of talking about tablets, or if you have one, you have one. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
Right. So
1.
I picked things that were a little unique. I have this with me in my purse all the time. So I love my
So
stylus.
hold it up. Don't keep moving.
Hold it
Okay,
up.
there you go.
Yeah.
There's your
Fun.
stylus. Okay.
So the stylus is, this one is a very simple one. It literally is just a stylus. It does not connect to Bluetooth or charge or any of the other features that I'll talk about with the other one. But literally, if you want to try it out, you can just use it.
4.
Why do I need one?
So a few different reasons.
4.
I'm gonna dig in my purse for it.
2.
Tell me why it's worth it.
I love this one because it has the clip and it
Okay.
clips to my iPad case.
Okay.
That is why it's
All
always
right. Point one.
sold.
Okay.
So I like to draw and sketch on my device,
4.
as well as
Okay.
taking handwritten notes versus typing or texting. it
2.
out. So I love the
Okay.
actual feel of the pen.
I can't get
versus
that.
my finger.
If
It's
she's
a nice
writing
feel to
something,
it.
I
It's nice
just
to
can't
have
get
it.
it.
Now I gotta ask this.
3.
I could see this thing after a while kind of wearing down.
Yeah.
What do? Do you have to buy a whole new
2.
pen when that happens?
Not at all. So
1.
I've had this for about 2 years. I have switched the tip out once. So in the 2 years, and I just bought a
2.
new one. It was very cheap.
Okay.
This one is only $19.95. The stylus in itself. So it's
1.
very. It would be a great stocking stuffer.
I can see where it does it because you get
2.
the screen
The
gets all gunky
fingerprint
and then
and-
you can sneeze and touch
Yeah.
your stuff. Okay. All right. Good. Okay.
So I will
Stylus number one.
Stylus number 1. I sketch with this one because I love this
1.
one. It's always with me. But if I really wanted to
2.
do something crazy, I would get this one out. And this one does connect to Bluetooth.
Is
It's
that
pressure sensitive.
the second
so if
one?
you wanted to do darker lines or lighter lines, as well as palm rejection. So once you connect it.
What is palm rejection mean?
So if I'm drawing
3.
or writing with this one, if I put my
3.
wrist down, I'm gonna write there.
4.
Versus with this.
Do that
one.
again because we were showing this. So
Yeah.
if you're doing
so
that.
If my wrist is here, I'm gonna write there, and it might pick up the pin mark there.
Okay.
Versus up here. So it kind of gets a little tricky.
So show how that one doesn't do
So
that.
with this one, you can put your
One.
hand all over
Oh,
it,
let's show
and
it.
it only
Yeah.
recognizes the tip because it connects via Bluetooth.
Okay.
So you can also do a couple of
What?
different features. So again,
I'll
you
get
want
it.
to kind of feel that one out as you sketch
Apparently,
along.
because it's
I like this
Bluetooth
one,
and you
'cause
tell your
yeah,
phone,
very techy.
In comparison, it is $99.
it's not going to pick up on any other
Or
fingerprint
your-
So it is
pin.
definitely
Next.
for someone that's going
Voila.
to
There we go.
draw
Thank
or sketch or use it to its
2.
ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you've got the tile. What's the tile?
So I heard about this one about a year ago from my boss when it was still in its, I think, Kickstarter phase or one of those kind of like, let's
I love
see what
those.
this, yeah. So tile is yay big, not huge, but it can be connected to anything that you don't want
Wait.
to lose, right?
Oh,
so
there you go.
that one you can put on any item that you
2.
want to.
These
You can
monitors,
connect your
I'm
app and you
skipping.
can
I
have
can't
2.
keep up with this
All right, I want
crap.
to get to the nest because we're getting this in our house.
Amazing.
2.
I'm so excited about this.
I don't have it, but it'd be a great Christmas gift for me, right? My friend has it. It
1.
At
literally
$249, I bet it would be.
It would be great if anyone would like to contribute to the fund. So $249. This one is one of the most expensive on my list, and I have more on my blog. But this one learns and programs itself, so you move it cooler, move it warmer. It saves up to 20% off your bills.
And it gets
4.
to know you.
It
And
learns
knows
your
to take it
habits.
down at night when you're sleeping, put it up when you get away.
Yes.
So you don't leave the house when you've left the thermostat on.
Right, and you can change
2.
it via your phone as well. There's an app that comes along with it.
1.
If you forgot it, you can go ahead and change, increase or decrease your temp.
Love it. Okay, I know
2.
a lot of new houses are
Yeah,
everybody's
all
getting
about
that.
the energy efficiency.
Okay, so we
Okay.
hear a lot about the 3D printing. So you have the 3D Doodler 3D printing pen.
I do.
Do
So,
show. Let's get the nest box out of your way,
yeah,
because I
so
want
let's-
everybody to see what you're playing with.
I'm gonna make a fool out of myself and try to make something beautiful. No, I played around a little bit before
1.
with this, and it's a
One.
$99 gift.
4.
It's something a little more artsy or creative, and you have potential to do something with it. So once it heats up, you put your little piece of plastic in, and it is giving you
2.
the red light, so it's still not heated up
Right
all the
on
way.
6
But
if you need.
literally, you just kind of go back and forth. You can build structures
6.
this way or this way. I just kind of added a couple little of the ornaments. So it's just more for fun, but instead of a 3D printer where you can build a kidney,
I want to
a
see her
house or
make
her-
one.
You know, I built a Christmas tree.
And so, is there any practical application of that? Is that something maybe architects or builders or people who want to do renderings
30.
do? Because I know it's called the Doodler.
The Doodler,
30.
So
right.
is it purely
You
just for
could.
fun stuff?
For me, it's for fun for now. It does take a little bit of practice. I'm get the blue light, so maybe I'll try. It just
Oh, let's take
heats it
her.
up, and I'll try to talk over it a little bit. But it comes out. It's hot when it first comes out, and it literally cools within a couple seconds.
Wrap after
And you
this.
continue to sketch along. I'm
It's
sure
like
you
people
could-
who want to decorate cakes but don't want to decorate cakes. They can decorate that kind of stuff.
It's
2.
just
You can
really
make an ornament out of that. Hook a little safety pin on there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
hang it right on
4.
your tree.
And you know,
Wrap.
first or second try, you could definitely do some really cool things with it after some practice.
All right, Brandy,
2.
thanks so much. You always
Of
share
course.
such great stuff. For more tips
3.
and gift ideas, you can check out Brandy's tech blog on her website,
Just do pull out on 2.
brandyleak.com. Stay with us, everybody. The chat will be right back.
Take it. Sorry, Justin. I couldn't keep up with all these full screen monitors.
Okay, so I just.
all
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
There's a tweet.
5, 4,
I'm not sure if we're going to get to
3,
it.
2, 1. My cue.
Let's just go.
Okay, so this is a really funny video. It's a dad who is kind of upset with his kids, but not really
Allison,
so
you said we have
upset
a
with his
tweet?
kids after you see what
Okay.
they did. Take a look.
B.
Are you guys in trouble?
I don't know why you have to lead up to these kind of
Do you
things.
think I should not give you guys
Yeah,
any
this
more
could have
juice?
just started on its own, actually.
Yeah, it's kids,
I
they're in
looked the
trouble,
tweet
but they're
in
not in trouble. They're kind of in
For
trouble.
whenever you come back on camera.
What is funny?
Nothing's funny, bud. You guys have paint everywhere.
3.
In the hair, Daddy?
10 seconds out of this.
In your hair, Daddy?
Yeah,
Stand by.
in your hair.
My cue.
And he goes, "What is funny, Daddy?"
I know, they kept asking him that.
3 can get both of
And
them.
he's doing nothing. Nothing
1.
is funny. This is very bad. They must really like juice, because he keeps saying you're going to go to bed without your juice.
They wanted that
2.
juice.
I know, they really
That was
did.
a really cute video. It's
3.
really long. That was just an excerpt from it.
Yeah,
What
very
do you
cute.
got going on?
2.
Well, I'm going to talk about this today because I might
3.
forget tomorrow. But Saturday.
Because you forgot on
3:30 to
Wednesday when we
5:30,
pre-taped
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna be at the This actually goes on all day long. It is the Marine Toys for Tots.
We're on to you.
Sponsored by Rico's RV World.
We
And
had
they're
to
gonna have
edit
live
an
bands
entire
there,
show
and you can bring
because
toys.
Charlene
Admission is $10 and an unwrapped toy, and this
said
gets you there.
something.
It's a really cool place. Flamingo RV
Why do
Resort.
we have
I
so
spent-
much
that was
time
when I was
left?
camping in the yurt during Superfest. Remember that's
3.
where I
2.5
camped. In
minutes.
the yurt. Remember I camped.
You have another tweet?
It's
She went a
Tweet.
minute
You don't
late
know
on
that.
the
You don't know what that
interview
means
over there.
recreational tent.
What was that, Jim?
And it's
She went a
like-
minute late on the
you
interview
sleep
over
in it.
there.
It's just somewhere to sleep. Like, you know,
With the
there are
Salvation
cabins,
Army lady or
but it
whatever.
doesn't have like bathrooms.
But they're
and stuff
nothing like
that.
yurts.
2.
But they're it's a fun.
It's a whole subculture. It's basically
Well,
when
there's
you're
only-
an
Oh, we're
acronym
tired.
name, you're a
Okay.
subculture.
There's only 4 yurts, but Flamingo Lake RV
2.
Park is people go
Twitter's
and stay
out.
in their RVs. Some of them actually
3.
live there. It's a real nice place.
Some of them have yurts.
But it's a really nice toy drive. So this
Yeah.
is
2.
Saturday all day, and I'll be there from 3:30 to
Oh, it's from the guy
So
that
there
they
you
all
go.
hate.
Well, before we
Now
go,
you know about yurts.
Now we know about yurts.
I
Two.
mean,
educated us all.
Yes,
I didn't
you
know
sure
that
have.
they
And
all
listen, at the
disliked
top of the
that
show, We
dude.
were talking about that girl
3.
who sued her parents and won twice to get college tuition.
Joey,
we posted a
that's
poll
who
on our
Twittered.
website,
2.
ladieschat.com, and we asked, how much do parents owe their college-aged kids? And this is after that New Jersey judge ruled in favor of the 21-year-old student. So here's what we see.
And she turned around
33%
anyway.
Absolutely nothing. Nada. 33%, which equaled that, enough to keep them off the streets, but that's it. 17 and
1.
17%. It's interesting how this broke down. 17%. I think
I'm just
I owe my
lying
kids
so they
tuition
can
and board
know that they
and some home comfort, and then
Time.
17% said, money
I can
opens
sit
doors
on the
even in
sponsor
college,
full
so I'm
screen
willing to
all
do
day.
as
It's
much as
cool.
they compete.
I'm curious.
Very small rate.
I was on
1.
scholarship from the Miss America, organization or whatever. Did you guys pay for your college? Did you?
I had a
2.
combination. I had a combination of scholarships,
3.
financial aid, and my parents.
Right,
So
Yeah.
I had a whole
Probably the
combination.
norm, right?
Yeah,
and there's a
probably.
lot of people that, it
3.
builds work ethic to go and have a job.
30.
And to go, but to
Lying again.
expect
2.
your parents to pay for it. That is
Especially when you're not talking
3.
to them.
right.
She's not talking to
Right,
them. She's not living with
She
them.
is
Nothing.
very entitled. She or
1.
has that sense of entitlement.
But what about the
that needs to-
grandparents? They apparently feel no
3.
responsibility to pay for this girl's college
But
tuition.
they're paying
20.
the legal fee, so
2.
if there's karma,
4.
those will cost more than college.
There you go. That's a really, really
I'm
good
tapping.
point.
Wow, she needs a good spanking.
She does, but I don't think this is the end of it because she sued to keep
10,
I guess,
9,
to hold her parents
8,
in contempt of court.
7,
They're gonna appeal and all
6,
that.
5,
All right.
4,
See you guys tomorrow,
3,
everybody. Have a good one.
2, 1.
All right. Ellen.
Ellen's season of giving continues.
I want to spread
Thanks.
light where
Thanks
there's
for all your
darkness.
help.
I want to stick a candle where the sun doesn't shine.
Amazing 12 days gifts, plus a party with Kevin Hart and Josh Gad.
Death Star. And Go Away Show.